We are gas vehicles, and sometimes we put diesel in our body thinking that we can run on diesel.
Or poor grade
Right,
gasoline.
right. Yeah, exactly. Welcome back, Dr. Brandon.
Yeah, great to be here again.
Yeah, our audience are really interested in the things that you've said before with the Chinese medicine, with the food. What can you offer us today?
I think, since you're a chef,
Yeah.
we can talk about like the ingredients we use when we
Okay.
do our cooking.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Like a popular ingredient, like what kind of ingredient? Like I know we hated on chicken, all kinds last time, right?
You slap chicken into
that's
little
right.
pieces.
Yeah, we champion fish, and vegetables. How about like I don't know what's a popular ingredients? I think everybody likes garlic, right? Garlic is like one of those things. Like
Oh yeah,
we're here we're in the Bay Area. We're in we're by Gilroy, so Gilroy Garlic Festival, right?
Yeah,
And that's garlic is one of those things that like every cuisine uses it, right? Like
people love the smell of it when they put it.
yeah. Oh yeah, like stinky roast. Like there's a restaurant that's named after garlic and stuff. So yeah, hit me with garlic. What do you think about garlic?
Okay. Great start. So garlic is also kind of controversial in Chinese medicine.
Okay.
Yes, it has its benefits, right? Okay, so patients come to me and they say, hey, I hear different things, very good things about garlic. It kills germs.
Yeah.
It's great
And
for
vampires.
your cholesterol, detoxifies vampires. On top of all of those, it has like all these great properties. But what I found interesting over the years is that as I was treating patients, I found multiple patterns of how people are using garlic, and the garlic was actually harming their health. So see if this applies to you. So I saw this Middle Eastern patient that, his primary care doctor and gastroenterologist is like, you have this rip-roaring gastritis and, acid reflux, stomach inflammation type of thing.
Okay.
And to the point where, in conventional medicine, when it comes to treating anti-acid, the best
Pepsid
drug,
AC, baby.
Pepsid AC, pretty quick, but it's like
Tums.
the Tums, that we see that all the time. One thing we don't, just a segue really quick. One thing bad about Tums, I don't know, like when we play with chemistry sets, when you mix acid and base together, what happens? You create a lot of gas, right? Well, the gas got to go somewhere. So a lot of people who have acid reflux and take Tums, they create a gas, and the gas distends and causes discomfort in a different way. So they got better from the acidity, the less of that burning sensation and everything, but now they got a lot of gas and bloating, and they still feel horrible. So I personally hate Tums.
Yeah, don't
Just throw that out there.
Don't eat Tums like they're candy. I know, dude. I know
it's got
people.
a lot of calcium too.
I know.
We'll talk about calcium
Easy.
next time. Easy. Yeah, don't get me started on that subject.
Yeah, no, but I work in a stressful environment, right? Like chefs, like the Tums in a restaurant, like people eat them like candies, like
Pepsid, pop Pepsid. But for people who have really bad gastritis, acid reflux, that kind of thing, or even that H. pylori bacteria that they got tested positive, part of the regimen is to take something called PPI, proton pump inhibitor.
Okay.
So proton pump inhibitors are like omeprazole. People hear about Prilosec. It's available over the counter now.
Okay.
Super popular. You hear about Nexium, the purple pill, when it was first advertised. And basically, there's many different kinds out there. Lansoprazole, pantoprazole. So there's different azoles. These PPIs are used to shut down the acid production at the cell level. Basically, it would not allow the cell to produce the acid no matter where the pathways are. So when you take a Pepsid, you're blocking the histamine pathway to stimulate these cells. Okay? So when it comes to acid reflux, this guy had bad, like really bad. He would wake up in the middle of the night. He would have to sleep more like upright so he doesn't get the acid reflux.
Right.
But this guy, being Middle Eastern, his culture-wise, he used a lot of garlic. I mean, like tons and tons of garlic.
And the marinade and the cooking.
Oh my god! Yeah, I mean the food. Yes, fantastic. Love it. And
Not
tastes
good for
great.
his gastro.
But I counseled them. I said, hey, I know it's part of your culture. I know it's like, it makes food taste great, but you gotta cut out the garlic. The garlic is really just tearing you up. So yeah, he cut it down. He couldn't cut it out completely, but it was helping him.
Right.
But this is just a kind of very, very like extreme case. But even the milder cases, garlic does really, really mess up your intestinal system in that sense. It can be irritant, cause you to have acid reflux.
I mean, there's people that
gastritis.
take garlic pills, man.
Oh yeah, because they think it was going to help with their cholesterol. I've seen patients who have like cholesterol, and I said, okay, well, let's see. You try this garlic pills. You can recheck your cholesterol 3-6 months later, and then we'll do something else. Let's see which one really helps. And garlic, again, nothing's 100%. There's some people who take garlic and it actually helps their cholesterol, but majority of my patients that I see, garlic ends up to actually hurt it more. So yeah, interesting that you bring up the garlic pills thing. So yeah, there's a lot of different properties about Chinese medicine about garlic, and so one pattern that I see a lot is people who have chronic migraines, so who get these just really debilitating headaches, really bad headaches.
I know people that
and migraines. Yeah, where they have like the vision gets affected, the aura. They're nauseated. They gotta put on their glasses and not be stimulated by light. You name it. Okay, so different degrees.
Yes.
So in Chinese medicine, many types of migraines is actually created by a disharmony and imbalance of the liver organ system. Okay, you're gonna say what? Your liver, right? Well, I'm talking about the liver organ system, not really the liver itself. Because in Chinese medicine, because it was created, thousands of years ago, it was before actual scientific analysis to actually give it specific terms. So they use a lot of poetic terms. The liver organ system has to do with a lot of different real scientific systems in our body. For example, the endocrine system can be described by the liver organ system.
Okay.
So I'm just using this poetic term because that's how Chinese medicine framework describes it. But the garlic is very detrimental to the liver organ system. It actually can throw it off balance. And in Chinese medicine, migraines are caused by many different types of migraines is caused by imbalance in the liver organ system. So you can imagine if you consume something that throws it even off, you can get worsening of migraines.
Right.
So it's been countless times I tell patients who have chronic migraines to stop eating garlic. Start using it in marinating your foods or putting it as a kind of like flavor.
You need to just stop going out to eat because everybody put garlic in it.
Yeah, I mean hummus has garlic. So there's so much garlic in everywhere. That's why some people can't see what's going on. So what does the conventional medicine doctor do? Prescribe the Imitrex, prescribe the medications to treat it. But if you want to get to the source of the problem so you don't get it always aggravated, look at the foods that you're eating. Okay, so garlic is actually one of those that if you take out of your diet on a daily basis, I've had patients that report more than 50% reduction of their migraines. So their headaches get better. So they don't have to rely on taking an Imitrex or load up on a daily medication prophylactically to rule out the migraines.
Right.
So that's what foods can do to you in a very silent way in the background that you don't know about it, but could be actually aggravating a symptom.
Now acid reflux, right? Is it something it's caused by the acidity of the garlic? Right, you're saying that
no, it's not just acidity. I know you talk about acid in
right?
cooking,
Yeah,
right?
That's what I was trying to say. They said one of the biggest differential between home chef and restaurant chef is the ability to use acid. Okay, if you're a home chef, we cook at home. You cook at home. You rarely ever even squeeze a lemon on your food at the end, right? Or you don't think about Chinese food as acid at all. Soy sauce is acid, right? So garlic, it's amino acid. It's the things that chef plays with that makes their food a little bit more different than your home cooking.
How's it taste different? Just
the acid brings out everything else, right? So if you're cooking one dish, let's just say like pasta, for example, right? You can add as much salt and even sugar in there if you want, but if you add a little bit of acid at the end,
It brings out the
it
other
brings
flavor.
out everything.
Do you think that maybe that's the allure why people love cooking with garlic?
Yeah,
'Cause and
garlic
also-
brings out everything. Like everything has
Yeah.
garlic. Whatever property that maybe it's creating the acid reflex is the delivery system of these flavors.
I mean, great point. And I think that's why it's so often used, and it's so tricky because if that's what you have, a situation where there are other symptoms that can go along with like a liver organ system dysfunction. For example, mood issues like depression, anxiety, irregular menstrual periods, migraines, that kind of thing. Poor sleep, like insomnia. All these have to do with like the liver organ system being off. So when I counsel patients, I detect that in your body, yes, you do have a liver organ dysfunction. And this is not like something you can detect in a normal lab work. Like the AST, ALT, the liver function enzymes, when you check them, it could be totally normal in the annual physical. Okay? We're talking about, again, the liver organ system in Chinese medicine sense. And there's a way for us in Chinese medicine to be able to detect that. So when we
when you do the pulse and stuff,
pulse in the tongue, and when you detect that, it's just like if I had bad knees, I wouldn't be an NBA player, right?
Right.
Yeah, So you got given your body is built this way, and it can change over time, can change along with which environment you're in, whether you're living in Asia, whether you're living in North America, the different places on Earth also interact with your genes differently. Without getting too far. What I'm saying is that when it comes to foods that can affect your body, for sure, garlic affects the liver organ, no matter which part of the world you're in. But the severity and how much it affects you does matter where you are in.
So is it the quantity of garlic that we're talking about, or is it
quantity can only make it worse. For like this guy who I was seeing, this patient, he used it for everything, literally everything.
Yes.
All right, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes.
So it was just way too much. And if he used less, he did get better. But I don't think he could come off. It's just part of his culture, part of how he cooks. So he was able to cut down, but he wouldn't be cut out all of it. And I just see that over and over again as a pattern, is that for many people, when they have some kind of illness or symptom that makes them uncomfortable, their body, for some reason, actually craves that exact thing that actually makes it worse, but they don't know about it.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, whatever you're craving is what's hurting
all
you.
the time. Like people who have pre-diabetes, and what do they love? They love the carbs. Yeah. They love the carbs. People who have high blood pressure, if you ask many of them, they love the savoriness. Yeah. They're not going to be like as much of a sweet person. And I see this over and over again. The people who have a certain migraines, they love cooking with garlic. They love eating spicy foods. I think we talk about spicy foods.
Yeah. Let's talk about. This is good. Spicy food is good. Is spicy food good for you?
Okay. Also, again, it has to depend on whether or not you're susceptible or not. Hey, if your body, actually takes spicy foods and actually makes good out of it, great. But let's say
I sweat, like I'm almost sweating right now talking about spicy food. That's how I'm not really good at taking in.
But let's say there's somebody with a kind of a little bit more colder type of constitution. When we're talking about the energetics, food has energetics, so does the human body. So if you're on the colder side, the spicy foods actually help offset a little bit. And it depends on which region of the world. So that you're in. So again, environment changes the way you consume your foods, and the human species evolves along with the diet. So the diet and the genes and environment all go together. And that's why different traditions have different foods for medicines, different foods that they say no to.
Right.
So it evolves. But our world is changing, and people are moving from one region of the world to another very quickly.
Right.
So if you try to use the same concept of where these originated and try to apply to where you live, when it doesn't reapply, number one, it can either do nothing, which is okay, or it can harm you.
And now a quick break. We hope you're enjoying this episode of The Art of Chef. If you're listening to us on your podcast app, we want to invite you to watch these episodes again on our YouTube channel. This is a completely different entertainment experience. Especially during our guest interviews, we love to spice things up with GIFs and other visuals that really bring the episodes to life. So don't be a stranger. Subscribe to The Art of Chef on YouTube and download episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
So here's another ingredient that's kind of like a go to solve your health things right now is turmeric. Right, like everybody's like, oh yeah, let's do turmeric
Great for
tea.
joints.
It's
for your joints.
It's great for everything. So what do you think?
Great for
like,
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever I hear in general, for the audience out there, if you hear something that's great for everything,
It's probably not.
it's probably not. Okay. I don't know. And I think that this is where these health fads and different things come in. And over the years practicing, I've been practicing more than 25 years, you see certain things come up. And turmeric is another one of those. Okay, so I know different cultures even use turmeric as a regular cooking ingredient. Do you cook a lot?
Yeah, I use turmeric actually. I know a lot more than you think. I use turmeric powder to steam my Chinese chicken. It gets a little yellow on that, because if you steam like a regular chicken, it's like super pale. So like the trick was to put a little bit of turmeric powder on there. You can't really taste it, but it gives you that yellow chicken.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
But no, not in a traditional cooking sense. But I hear a lot of people doing, you adding turmeric, like for the tea, like
Turmeric pills.
right? And especially doing like a lot of Middle Eastern food, like if I would do like Indian food, turmeric is,
I mean, it does have like anti-inflammatory properties and that kind of thing. Again, I'm trying to associate both the conventional medicine and the Chinese medicine realm. When it comes to turmeric, what I found is that it also can throw people's liver organ system off. Okay. Sometimes even so much off, I can detect it in the AST and the ALT liver enzymes that I order.
Oh, okay.
So a few examples. I've had people that come in for their annual checkup, and when I order a comprehensive metabolic panel, which includes the liver enzymes, the AST and ALT, I'm like, hey, why is your AST ALT slightly up? It's not very, very high, but mildly elevated. And usually I check, number one, how much can alcohol
Alcohol, right? I was just gonna say,
alcohol. It can
the,
cause
right.
the liver enzymes to be any risk for any kind of hepatitis. Do they have a fatty liver? Do they use Tylenol a lot?
Right.
There's kind of different things I would check. But one of the things I always check is, are they on any herbal supplements, and are they using turmeric in their cooking often? So I found tons of different herbal supplements, and even Chinese medicine. Okay, there's certain Chinese medicine herbs, and there's certain non-Chinese medicine herbs out there that you gotta be careful with the liver. Okay, so the AST and ALT can both be elevated. Okay, and if you look at the elevation, you're like, there's maybe some inflammation, burden to the liver. So I've had patients who come in and they use turmeric a lot in their cooking. Or for some reason for a supplement, like for joints. And I look through their whole history and I can't find a reason why. But they're using turmeric. So I asked them, I said, hey, why don't you stop the turmeric in your cooking 100%? Because even a little bit would make a difference. Just stop 100%. I'm going to recheck your liver enzymes in 2 weeks and see. And guess what?
Oh, wow.
Many of them, if they're off the herbal supplements or they're off the turmeric, the liver enzymes return to normal. They didn't lose any weight. It's not like their fatty liver went away. Right. They didn't change their alcohol consumption, or they may not even be drinking any alcohol.
Right, yeah.
So with
your customers, they're probably not.
Yeah. So the only variable was that they stopped turmeric. And so therefore, and I've seen it with other herbal supplements that you can buy to treat, sleep, to try to help you with stress, to help weight loss. And that's another one. And I haven't stopped the supplement. And even some of these herbs sometimes are mixed into the multivitamin, the comprehensive multivitamin. Yes. I hate those. and so what happens is that they just stop it, and the AST/ALT return to normal. I'm like, guess what? Your turmeric it's actually harming your liver system. So I think this is one of those where there's no way to really tell right away because there are people who have liver disharmony when I check their pulse, check their tongue. And from a Chinese medicine perspective, they do have that. I just give them as a warning. It's like, okay, it might not do well for you. Okay. But it's definitely not as direct as like the garlic, where garlic would be most of the time.
I think we're onto something here. So I have garlic was my first ingredient that was really, I didn't know that it was as good or bad as it is, and then turmeric. And then here's another one, I'm healthy, I guess. I try to be healthy, so I go have my smoothies for lunch. I guess I do a lot of raw, like cold stuff, just to keep, because I don't have to get fat again. So I go to this place that they make these acai bowls, right? Acai bowls with like bananas and oats and honey. And and people have been putting goji berry on these things. Goji, you know what? Growing up, goji berries is in soup, and you don't ever want to like eat them. Like it's not like something that you're like, oh yeah, ooh, delicious. Right? So like now they have like these dry ones. You can see them in markets. You can snack them. Right?
On them.
Like so,
even, like Costco has it.
Is that something? Because I figured that's Chinesey. Like people are eating it like raisins. Are we doing it right? Are we doing it wrong?
Yeah, goji berries. There's two combinations that comes up a lot in Chinese medicine. So goji berries paired up with Chinese yam, but the dry
Chinese
kind,
yam.
not the one where you
stick the
that you cook with,
with.
in actual just like a meal, but the actual ones which are white in color, Waisan,
yeah,
Chinese yam,
Chinese yam, yeah.
and that combination is actually very good for the liver organ system. That's what we want to talk about, liver organ system.
Yeah.
It's actually very good. It's very nourishing for that organ system. So for people who actually have these migraines, the chronic migraines we were talking about, provided that there's no viral or infectious influence. We talked about this last time, about the chicken soup where I was slamming like crazy.
Yeah.
Is try not to consume enhancing substances while you're sick or right after you're sick. Yeah. Well, same thing with goji berries, actually. Goji berries and Chinese yam together, especially that combination, you definitely don't want to put it in soup. You don't want to consume it while you're sick. You want to consume it after you're sick. Remember that 2-week vulnerable period?
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend if you do consume goji berries, again, anything good, consume too much is going to be bad. So when you do use goji berries, don't consume it while you're sick, under the weather in any way, whether it's a bacterial or viral infection. And when you use it with Chinese yam together in soups, for example, it has a very nourishing effect to the liver organ system. So for people who have like sleep issues, your regular menstrual cycles, migraines, it actually will help. Now, there's also another version of the combination that's super popular in Chinese medicine, goji berries, is combining it with chrysanthemums. You ever
Chrysanthemum, like the
chrysanthemum tea?
Yeah,
tea.
Like
you can go to get it from
Gok Fa. Right?
Yeah, Gok Fa, like in dim sum places, and you can drink chrysanthemum tea. But they have it like tea bags or just whole chrysanthemums that you can just kind of like steep in hot water to make the tea. Well, chrysanthemum plus goji berries is also very good for the liver organ system, but not in a nourishing way. It actually detoxifies it. Now, again, I hate the word detoxification, but I'll say that again because it's too general, but there's no really other good term to use. So detoxifying in this sense is actually removing the heat from the liver organ system. It's like, what the heck is liver heat? Well, if you look up Chinese medicine literature, it talks about liver fire. It talks about liver blood not being enough, liver yin not being enough, liver yang rising. These are all terms, poetic terms that they use in Chinese medicine to describe certain symptoms and to how it relates to the liver organ system. So the Gok Fa, chrysanthemum plus goji berries removes the heat symptoms that are generated by the liver organ being off balance. So we used this car engine analogy last time, right?
Yeah.
So just think of it as the car engine is the liver.
Okay.
And then what happens is that you're running it hot with not enough coolant, not enough motor oil.
Yes.
So the temperature gauge on the
Goes
car engine
super
starts
hot,
going up. That's creating the heat. Well, guess what? The chrysanthemum and the goji berry combination,
back down.
it actually brings it back down.
Okay.
So nourishing with the goji berry plus the Chinese yam helps with the motor oil and the coolant. You're actually pumping in more,
Okay.
even though it's the same amount of heat being generated.
Okay.
While the other way, the chrysanthemum and goji berry is you're actually removing the heat. So
it's good. I think that was goji berry is good.
yeah, it can be good.
Yeah.
Now, again, if you consume too much, goji berry, like some other things in Chinese medicine, is use the term coying. It doesn't come up too much, but what it does is it slows you down, meaning that too much goji berries is like too much sludge, too much motor oil.
Yeah.
Now your engine's running sluggishly.
Yeah.
So you can overdo it.
Okay.
So goji berry, again, I wouldn't recommend consuming it during any infections or right after any infections, and doing too much because of its coying nature, it's going to end up kind of slowing down your system in different ways. I'm going to be very general about it because there are many. I can just go into a whole new section.
Goji berry and yam, you'll find it in a lot of like Chinese soup
Packages, engine prepackaged. If you go to an Asian store, you can find those or separately.
Okay.
By the way, you know how I look at the Chinese yams
No.
to see if they're good or not.
No, see, you gotta teach us because it's okay. Chinese yam. First of all, when you go get them, there's usually only a couple of kinds, right? And then like
But
there's like a
grades.
really there's like really white.
If they're extremely white,
Yeah.
like bleach white,
Yeah.
stay away from those.
Okay, yeah, see, that's
they're
what I was like,
over processed.
okay.
If they're gray, also stay
gray.
away from them.
Oh, no good.
But if they're relatively white, but the edges, with each slice, if you look at them, the edges are actually a little bit grayish. Now that's good stuff.
That's good stuff. Okay. I mean, you are like a Chinese herbalist, so you get stuff like from real China. Stuff. Like we get it from Ranch 99, okay, and like Marina Market. You don't get to choose, okay?
And where the herbs come from, obviously, just like wine, right?
Right,
Where you
yes.
grow it from, it changes its properties.
Yes.
So when it comes to Chinese medicine, you have to get it from the mainland, the Chinese mainland, because
Right.
everything that's about them, about how they're used, which combination, is based on those recipes. And how we change it, okay, that's how we tailor and customize it to the different regions where you are in the world.
Right.
I wouldn't use the same Chinese medicine formula that is like been there for ages in Asia, and then transport it, plant it to over here to a patient in the United States, and think that it's going to do the same thing.
Okay, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. I don't want to lose this either. So let's go with this. To me, it sounds like Chinese medicine is a lot more flexible than like
there's a lot of customization.
Yeah, right, exactly. There's a lot more customization. Instead of like Western medicine, it's like, okay, you got a cold and here's the medicine.
You mean like ibuprofen 600
Yeah,
versus
right, yeah,
800?
Yeah, because
every 4 hours?
like every time when we come to you for like herbs and medicine, it's like different every time. I love how you guys put the medicine together. By the way, like the Chinese,
It's like cooking.
Yes,
it is like
yes.
cooking.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like cooking. If you go to a chef, right, a really famous restaurant, you're not gonna see the chef taking like a little like measuring cups.
No.
Because they got that.
Dude,
so
it
is like cooking.
Yeah, and when you go see them, like it's a whole different experience. When they write down the rest, like when they give you these guys don't pick Brandon picks your own medicine. His dad doesn't pick his own medicine. His mom picks the medicine. So he writes like a recipe, like a medicine form, right?
Which is done at most places.
And it's beautiful, and it's beautifully written, and it's in his mind. He writes it down. He adjusts the quantity of everything.
And every time you see
every time with the person. Admirable that I have for you guys. And what you do, and like this is like when you guys are writing the medicine I don't know what you call it.
Recipe formula.
Yeah, the formula, the recipe. It's like it's great, and then and also great to know that you like what I'm learning is that everything we put into our body affects our body.
Either in very, very quick noticeable ways or in small, not noticeable ways, but you feel it sooner or later.
Yeah, and so when you feel bad, generally is because you have been putting the incorrect thing into the body. Using an analogy like Dr. Brandon with cars, right? We are gas vehicles, and sometimes we put diesel in in our body, thinking that we can run on diesel
Or poor grade
right
gasoline.
right yeah, exactly. So you just gotta make sure that you tune it. If you feel like the slightest off, take a look at your diet, take a look at what's going on in your life that you're putting in there. Maybe like it's not the environment to blame.
Your lifestyle.
Maybe your lifestyle, what you put in yourself, maybe the culture, the recipe that you're doing, it's creating these illnesses and stuff. So thank you again for coming on to the show. I think that was great. Like we went through some of these ingredients: garlic, turmeric, goji berry. Who doesn't use them, right? And then now we know that garlic is probably more evil than we think. I don't want to say evil.
I just slam chicken and slam some garlic.
I know. So now all my sponsorship with Christopher Ranch in Gilroy sponsorship that's over. Me and Mary's organic chicken sponsorship it's over. Maybe I need to go find some good pork sponsorship and fish sponsorship. But hey, you know what? Good thing nobody sponsored this fucking show. Okay, I pay for it and make it happen. So thank you so much for coming on again. I love having you on the show. Hopefully I can have you come on again.
Thanks for joining us today. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode, it only takes a moment to post a positive rating and review. Your support allows us to grow the community and reach more extraordinary people just like you. And come check out the Art of Chef YouTube channel on your next lunch break. We'd love to see you there. Thanks again for listening. See you in the next episode.